Well, maybe this is why they decided not to nerf them again, mate. Maybe this is actually Pokemon Unite saying, yeah, we told you. Which is quite interesting when you think of it that way, but what a lock-in this is going to be. Bidepig there on the Zash, and we see Champs Glacier on the Zoroark with that gold badge. It is literally going to come down to whether they can stop Champs Glacier being an absolute beast on that Mon.
The beauty of the Comfy is it's got so many other options it can just jump onto in this comp. It's got that Buzzball, it's even got the tree that it can jump onto and just be an indestructible force. So it'll be interesting to see how OG deal with the Comfy. And the last time Comfy was brought out by this team was against OG, and they managed to get a win with it.
Yeah, it worked really well for them, didn't it? We see Glossifer going for the invade straight away over here onto the Zoro. Are they going to be able to do anything? Because it is pretty decent with damage already, but it can be pretty weak. Of course, it is a speedster. Does mean that it can have difficulty locking things in. We see the Comfy come down to provide assistance. Ikaru's at least going to drag 3 Mons into the jungle here, chat. And they nearly lock in the blue. There comes Emo on the Pikachu as well. And that just enables stacks to go in this bottom lane.
That is such a beautiful invade as well. It shows its face near the top buff, pokes it a little bit, and then straight away runs down to that blue buff, starts ripping it, and the Zoroark's because left without a buff and going to need to take some path farm away from its laner there.
Yeah, just to come online. That's really good. I really like to see that. We nearly have the 5 on Enderblade as well, though. That's going to be pretty strong. Who's going to come and provide assistance in this top lane? Zacian's here. We don't have an Elder Gloss yet. The Glossifer is there. There's a nice Sacred Sword coming out. That's going to do a lot of damage, and Champs Glacier has, unfortunately... Oh, I did think they missed their combos, but they did pop it off. A huge amount of damage on Ikaru, but it's not enough to pick up the KO.
Yeah, Gossifleur much bulkier than it looks, especially early, just tanking the last little hit of that combo. And Zoroark's not really been able to get much done in that top lane.
I'm intrigued to see what Phantom goes with here when they become Trevenant, what build they go for, because of course there is a Comfy there, and it's going to be awful to come up against that when it has that boost set, the Curse, or even, you know, getting all that healing that they can get from their Horn Leech. It's going to be interesting to see, man. Let's keep an eye on that one.
Well, let's have a look. We're about to find out now as it's being pressured. Surely one of these spells has to come out. It's the Wood Hammer coming out. Going for a pure CC here. And that Eldegoss being an absolute menace, and that is the one way to counter this Zoroark early. Just invade it, don't let it get its buffs, don't give it a level lead. And look, it can't even knock out the Eldegoss.
And that's going to be getting picked up by Bidepig, surely. Oh my god, Glacier using their moves to get themselves onto that pad. Enderblade is so weak, but they do manage to grab it with the Matang. And that's going to be an Evo that Muddled really needed, putting down that sword to give themselves some defense. And Glacier is struggling to get cooking on this Zoroark right now. They've just missed their combo. Ikaru is getting out on so much low health that it's fascinating to see, chat.
Yeah, and he's just chasing the Eldegoss into that pad and being chased down by the Matang and the Zacian and gets picked up immediately, but Comfy manages to jump straight onto that Buzzwall. He has to retreat. They can't fight a 2v3 there.
No, and in the bottom lane, we have a Pillar Swine up and ready to go. Toto is here. That's exactly the kind of Evo that you want. Get yourself to Mamo as soon as you can. Level 8 on Nia on the Venusaur. Not too far off your Unite move, but you have that beam. Registeel has just spawned. Let's see who decides to put some presence onto it. I mean, Eldegoss is just continuously annoying this Zoroark, buddy. And Glacier is seeing red at the moment. They want this Eldegoss gone. They've spent so much time. Every time they get close and do something, they get pushed, Muddled. A good job there, but they do finally enable the lock-in on that KO.
Missed for beauty, but just being annoying. Eventually, you are playing against another human on the other side, and they will just see red and start to tunnel vision you, but if they do start to tunnel vision you, can just sort of lead them to your teammates for a little ambush as we saw there. That's a huge Horn Leech, though, from the Trevenant, just to delay this rip on the objective and give teammates some time to get back down to it. Another huge Horn Leech coming off, but they are able to rip this. There's absolutely no way through as well, and being so because with a nice easy secure this Oblivion.
Yeah, Toto's doing so good at buying some space for their team here. It is the Compute and Crash paired with the Verdant Anger. That's going to take down the Trevenant. We do see a nice combo coming off from the Zoroark, but unfortunately, that big Mamoswine is there. That mammoth freezing the Zoroark means they're not going to be able to get anything else off. And look at this though, Chaos, right? As soon as Oblivion Gaming have done what they need to do, they grab any yellow dot they can see on that map.
Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever, just well drilled on the side of Oblivion Gaming. They just seem to have a perfect game plan. They know exactly how to push it as well.
I love the fact that Eldegoss has just been the answer for Zorak in this game. Like, it's just a Karu. It doesn't matter what comes on. It's just a Karu that's going to handle that Zorak. It's worked really well for Oblivion Gaming, and that is a worry when you have a Zorak and a Comfy, but they've concentrated on the Buzzwall at the moment. Enderblade has that on them. They've got their Unite move, so they're going to have an engage using those just here. There comes the super power. They do pick up the Eldegoss, but they pop off their Unite move in perfect time. Give some healing over to Muddled, but we saw Champs Emo also come in with the Thunderbolt, and here comes Zacian. They've got the Sacred Sword, they've got the damage, and there's almost as if every Unite move's being popped. Trevenant has done just that. Muddled is having a battle against the Buzzwall, but they are going to go down. Comfy having to use their Unite move to protect Enderblade there, and it seems like Pig is going to try and wipe out anyone in their direction. I think that's going to be it for Buzzwall, unfortunately, and Comfy, you may be lucky, but you're not lucky there. A free KO coming in for Pig. What an absolute masterclass of Zacian play there.
What an incredible fight. My favourite part of that, the Eldegoss getting grabbed, thrown straight into the path of Zoroark, and you just know that Zoroark player's eyes just lit up. A bit of revenge coming in, but no, the ult just comes in, gets him out of harm's way. Look at OG again, they've ripped this top objective, and straight away they've got 2 people on that bot objective, ready to rip that. They could probably push this in if they get the buffs as well.
I love the macro that comes out of Oblivion Gaming. Their communication is really well down. That Lecky's going to push into that bottom pad, that T2. Are we going to be able to get a KO on the Buzzwall? It is so weak, but no, they've got the answer there for the Zorak. Picking up the Zacian. That's going to work for them if they really want to take out a Karu here, but they've managed to pop their Unite move, yeeted them off that pad. They picked up the Citrus Berry. Blaze is going to go down, and without that aggression, mate, I think that is going to be this attack fizzled out.
And once again, gets that Eldegoss hanging around that Zoroark on low HP, and then in the end using its ult to get out and knock it out. Maybe Pikachu takes some revenge for the Zoroark though.
That poor Zorak, in the end it never even mattered because they got KO'd themselves, mate. Oh wow, they've managed to defend this Lecky though, so that's not going to go in, but a huge lead currently for Oblivion Gaming. They've got more points, they've got the extra levels. Zacian hitting that level 13. That's going to be dangerous coming into this Rayquaza fight.
Absolutely, and we're getting that sort of farming mode, but OG, with all the goals up, they have to be a bit more aggressive and push into the other side. Maybe there'll be a chance to pick up an ult, because look how quickly that Zacian just gets out of trouble there. Gets the slightest hint of trouble, and that was A straight out.
I do feel like the Zacian is an EXmon that's in a pretty good standing at the moment, chat. I say EXmon, they're not anymore, so I kind of need to stop referring to them as that. I guess it could be, it's got to be ex-EXmon, right? They're not that anymore.
Fine, confusing, is it?
Not confusing at all, but no, honestly, the Zacian has played really well in every game that it's been in. Obviously, we've not seen the others, but I do feel like it's a very viable all-rounder coming into these games.
Absolutely, you know, it's still super powerful. The most recent nerf, I don't really think has made too much of a difference as to how it's been played, but we've just seen it in this game. It's been running an absolute riot, especially with that fight earlier in the top pad. Yeah, we're sizing up for Rain again. Just look at Oblivion's positioning, just spread out all over the map, and you know, I think they pretty much know exactly where team ends are from this positioning.
Yeah, if anyone takes anything away, when you are winning a game of Pokemon Unite, that's the positioning you want to be taking. You need vision wherever you can get it. You're going to defend against those back caps. You know where the other team are. Once you know that, then you can take your engage. It's almost as if Toto saw that very action happening with the Trevenant, but there's the Thunderbolt coming in. Are they going to be able to pick anyone up? There's the compute and crash, the Verdant Anger to answer with the beam to back it up. Means that their Zoroark has been yeeted back to that Pokemon Center. Enderblade concentrating on Niat, but they've missed their move there. The superpower was enough to get there. There's the Giga Drain. They're going to take out the Trevenant. They're going to take out the Mammoth. Pig does decide to back on up. They're going to have to go back to their goal and get some defense, because that Comfy is going to cause some CC, and when you have CC and a Buzzwall chasing you, buddy, that's not what you want to see.
Oh, Tano, what a fight we just saw there. We thought it was going to swing the way of Oblivion straight away with the Mammoth getting caught out, and then it just went straight back the other side of Oblivion. Look at this teaming, just ripping the Rayquaza now.
Yeah, they've decided that that's the right call. Here comes the Venusaur. They've got that beam, so they need to hurry up on this one. But there's the Elder Gods Unite to try and secure as well. And it's the Metagross out of everyone there that locks that in. I understand the rip decision, but it wasn't quick enough, Chaos. And that's meant that Oblivion Gaming have enabled themselves to get that secure. They're going to score some points now. They're trying to defend against any Hundo Burgers coming the other way. And I know you've got that superpower, Ember, but that's not going to be enough when you're trying to score 50 points.
No, absolutely. But again, it's just what we saw from Oblivion in the other games, just how well they combine their moves. Obviously, Rayquaza was being ripped down, but they had the Eldegoss with the ult, they had the Solar Beam from Venusaur, and then Metagross as well with some attacks. They just combined their moves perfectly, and that's how they end up getting the secure there.
Unite moves that are so well designed to work with each other, chat. It is really awesome to see. They played fantastically well here, and I do like the decision to rip it by Team In. You saw that Venusaur was out of there. The other ones were also coming just back in, but you didn't have quick enough rip to enable you to grab that one. So it's a shame, but what a battle and what a fight we had in that game.
Yeah, I mean, they needed to rip, really. They had their mons coming back in a little bit quicker than Oblivion, so it's definitely the right decision, but Oblivion just had that better secure, and yeah, wonderful secure in the end.
Oblivion Gaming, they've just won 4 games back to back, chat, right? That's the thing. 4 games back to back. They were up against the Zorak Comfy there, which is so scary in this EU region because it's so tough to handle, but it's almost as if a Karu said, but I'm going to get myself handling that Zorak. Don't worry about it, guys. I've got it. I'm going to put it on my shoulders and handle it. 71k damage taken because of that.
This weekend. Yeah, but one way
Mewtwo actually. If we were going to put money on it, it wouldn't have been Mewtwo X at all. So let's see what Enderblade can cook with. And of course, Muddle picking up the Zacian there. We've seen Zacian play quite a lot. Pig was cooking on it in the previous game. So a lot of people are feeling comfortable on that Mon. And I think that's probably going to be the EX Mon that a lot of people rotate to.
Well, we're going to sound like a broken record as well, but we've seen every single EX barring the Miraidon. And that was the one that we were probably expecting to see picked or banned the most.
Yeah, I am quite surprised at that one. Pig going into the jungle is not surprising though, but it is a slow rotation. Will we see an invade? I don't think we will, which is quite interesting. But we do have this Cramorant and the Umbreon in the bottom lane. That's going to be tough for them to handle, but luckily the Ho-Ho is there with them. Yeah,
but not the greatest secure on the side of Team In, and we can see the Umbreon take the contested piece of farm. Look at this, we're just swallowing up all the yellow dots here. That's going to be an Umbreon before we know it.
It is. Hopefully, you know, they can at least take some damage. But the thing is, Champs Emo being down there on the Fennekin, that's difficult, right? Because that Mon takes a lot to become that with the damage and the CC that it can have. So they're going to really concentrate on taking that out. If they do get the Evo on this Umbreon early enough, they don't quite get it yet, but they're going to get it at this level 9, at this 9 mark anyway.
But meanwhile, top lane, Team In have taken out 2 huge knockouts and got some stacks in as well. On their side, we've got some evolution for that Eldegoss. The jungler's lurking up there as well.
X is nearly there for their Mega as well, chat. As soon as they hit that level 5, they're going to get it off this piece of farm and they will have their Mega available. There we go. The big EX is up on the lane. They're going to drop a lot of damage. Muddled is going to go down. Enderblade is answering with the Cypher there with them. And Shifu's going to have to do some sort of wicked blow here to defend this goal. I don't think they're going to be able to do enough. And look at the points raining into that T1 already.
Beautifully played as well by Venusaur. He waited until the last second to tick over into that Mega so he could have the Mega up for the fight of the birds, and yeah, it was decisive as well with the Cypher coming with some clean knockouts.
So we see Shifu go back to their jungle, try and rotate that through while we see 15 seconds away from these mid-birds. We have got a Delphox down here with Champs Emo. They're in a pretty strong position now. They're up against Toto with that Snarl coming in for the Umbreon. I like that. That makes me very happy, along with the foul play as well.
What makes me happy is your pronunciation of small there, mate. Snarl. Love it.
It's just one of those. It's such a good move, mate. It makes me happy. I get excited as I say it. But look at that lock-in for Glazer. There's no concern about Cypher there. A nice double kill. And yet again, more points raining into this T1 here, Chaos. 120 points out of the gate for Team In here.
They have come into this game with a point to prove. They've clearly been rattled in that first game. They want to get some points back on the board, and this is huge start for them. But Zacian going straight in on that Eldegoss. It's 3v1 in that pad. Mewtwo's up there immediately. Look at how tanky he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even in meta form there. There's the Mega. They're going to be able to drop a lot of damage onto Toto. I don't think Toto's going to survive that one. They seem like they want more. They're not happy with just that KO. They want to get Zasha, but the Sacred Sword is going to be too much for them, and they're going to need to back up out of that point. Cypher is just sat here, waiting for the opportune moment to do just this. There we go. They've popped their Unite move. They take down one. They take down two. They've got the execute damage coming in with the dual wing beat. Goodbye, Bider Pig. What a lock-in. Mum, get the camera. That's a quadra.
And this is what we said earlier about the Cypher. This guy's probably one of the best Cypher players I've seen. He can just tear apart teams no matter what the matchup, and it's crazy. We've just seen it there, taking that quadra kill, and that's a free Regieleki. We're down in the bot path. It's just going to be Ho-Oh breaking a pad. Are they going to look to try and defend? Well, Oblivion have to defend this Regieleki, and Team Inting just rotating bottom for this Reggie at the bottom.
Yeah, breaking that pad means that they're not able to show their face for the Regice realistically, having to defend that Lecky, and that's just enabled Team Int to come on down here with Glazier and rip this Regice. So they're going to get both objectives here, and that's exactly what you want for your team. Really strong play coming out of the gate for Team Int.
Yeah, Team Int definitely needed this, and again, Cypher's one of those Pokemon, a bit like Zoroark. It relies on that early game to sort of snowball and get ahead. This time Oblivion didn't go for the invade, and it's paying off for Team Int.
Let's see what they decide to do here. We don't have any more objectives coming up for at least a couple of minutes here, chat. So are they going to go for an engage? Are they going to go for a team fight? There's no XP on the farm, really. There's the bottom birds that they could rotate to, and it seems like they're having a bit of a decision on where they want to go here for Oblivion Gaming. They've decided on a top lane. Underblade is here with Champs Lucky on the Elder Gloss, so they're going to go in the back lane, and there we go. They were nearly taking out Glacier with Bider Pig there, but they're going to go and lose that one because of the stun coming from that Unite move. Oh my god, look at Muddled taking down not one but two, but Ho-Ho's just brought them straight back, Chaos.
And that's what we were saying about Ho-Oh. A fight was definitely going the way of Oblivion Gaming there. That ult has just changed it completely, and that's brought everyone back for Team Int. And that Mewtwo's just chasing after this Blissey.
Yeah, they really don't want to let that Blissey go. Got a bit of red mist over their eyes there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It changes the outcome of a team fight when you think that you've already hit that outcome, right? You think you've taken down a lot of mons from Team Int, and that's going to be you winning the fight, but then all of a sudden, no, you're in a second fight before you even realise it.
Absolutely, and Cypher there almost getting picked off, but he's just got the mobility to get away. But yeah, very interesting to see the approach here. I think that Regieleki about to pop up as well, and it has just spawned as we speak.
But it seems like Oblivion Gaming are not showing for it, which I would have suspected they did do. Cypher is going to go for it though. Team Int are putting a lot of pressure onto that. I think they're looking for the extra experience of Oblivion Gaming that they'll get from this bottom Reggie here, buddy. I mean, Ho-Oh is there. They do take a lot of damage. They don't do a lot of damage, but they could at least cause distraction. But it seems like Toto has got their sights just on that. Champs Lucky coming down with the Elder Goss. They're going to see what they can do to lock this in. Toto's doing so well at zoning them out, but there we go. It is the Ho-Oh that comes in with that damage. They may get KO'd here, but at least they locked in the objective. There's going to be points raining in, although there's the fanciful fireworks. There's the Unite move from Cypher. They do eventually go down, but they did lock in some damage. Zacian with a triple.
A huge secure there from the Ho-Oh. That's just completely changed this game in my eyes. You know, obviously it was a good decision for Oblivion. They were getting back level on the levels, and that objective could have given them a slight lead as well. Because obviously you're behind on points anyway, so if this Regieleki goes in and Team Int decides to push, what is it, another 100 points going in? Doesn't matter too much. You're going for that Ray fight in the end, and you need the levels for it, and Team Int gets denied that.
I can't believe how close Ender came to being KO'd there, but the recovery was enough just for them to be able to sprint on out of there on so low health. Like, it just shows how well that Mewtwo X can actually brawl. I do like to see that. It's giving me a different appreciation for that Mewtwo X, actually. So maybe Underblade actually knew what that Mon could do already.
Yeah, I've not seen a Mewtwo X move like this, to be honest. I think the closest I've seen is Mewtwo's playing that tank build that was going around not too long ago. But this is the thing with the X-Mons, they've been banned out pretty much in every single tournament. They get banned out on solo queues, so there's not enough time to practice with it. But we've got a good couple of months here before UCS starts for our teams to really practice these Mons, and we can see what they can do.
I'll tell you what, if a team's feeling a bit spicy here, they've got 5 seconds to rip that Lecky. But I don't think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a setup from Oblivion Gaming here. This is quite interesting because they've got quite an aggressive stance there with the Shifu and the Umbreon. But of course, ho-ho. And I think Mewtwo X is nearly going to get caught out there. That's going to have to be the engage there. There we go. Champs Glacier trying to lock down on Toto, but they've gone for the rip yet again, Chaos. Here we go. They've got the damage to do just that. But of course, so does the Cypher. So does everyone else. And I think it's Zacian that locks it in. Well played, OG. They actually answered with a good rip there, but they need to get more points in and also defend, chat. That's the important thing. Model getting another 60 in there. That gives them the lead, but they do need to defend against not one, but 2 Mons pushing here.
Oh, and the Blissey just gets there in time. That could have been enough of the game there for Team In because it would have only been a few more points, but look at that, 76 going in from the Cramorant. But you could just tell from the way Oblivion was set up there, they were going to go straight for that rip. They have the Umbreon ready to zone and that Zacian ready to dive into the pit and rip on spawn. Beautifully worked again. It was, again, very well rehearsed from Oblivion Gaming.
I gotta say, when you are on the back foot and you have the communication that Oblivion Gaming seems to have, it works an absolute treat. That rip was a really good shout and it's paid off for Oblivion Gaming here. They were struggling in this game. Team In were really having a good answer for them. But yeah, we have 50 seconds left, chat. It seems like everybody is going to push onto this T2 pad, and if they can get some KOs, they could score a hundo burger and then go to the home pad, but it's going to be risky. 40 seconds left. We're going to have to see some Unite moves popping out here as well. There's the fanciful fireworks, but of course, the Zacian is there. They have popped out the Cypher Unite move as well. That's 1 down, that's 2 down. Will they be able to do enough? There's the Cramorant Gatling Gulp missile, but Mewtwo X is absorbing every single bit of damage. Pig goes down. That's going to be some points in. It's going to be a 98 overcap. They may be able to answer here, chat. They are currently just 55 points behind, and I think Champs Lucky's going to get that in with the Cypher as well, and almost as if from the jaws of defeat, we are going to witness a win for Team Int. What a way to come back there, Chaos.
Oh, it's crazy from Team In, but also crazy from Oblivion Gaming. They must have known they had a big enough lead just to let that tier 2 goal go, and then they could have just defended this on the home base instead. But no, they've completely lost this game now.
Maybe that's, playing so many games back to back, to be fair. They had 4 wins on the bounce. They've just lost that one to Team In, and it seems as though it was as if they were going to win that one. I think you're right, buddy. You kind of have to give that T1 pad away, T2, pad away, and just defend that home base with the Mons that you've got. You've got Pig that's capable of doing true damage, so you can at least do a lot of damage on that home pad to stop any scores going in. It's an unfortunate one, but a huge shout out to Team In coming back to win that one.
Yeah, you've got to give props to the Delphox as well. Obviously, recognising a bit of condition to break that pad. Perfect Unite, covering the entirety of the pad. How often in our solo queue games do we see a Delphox on a pad completely miss the pad and throw it behind or just off to the side? But no, it covered the entire pad, and that's what gave them quite enough damage to get the team up there.
I get where they're going with the direction of the most recent buff to ball tackle, but I think that's the only thing it needed, mate. I think they've done what they've done with it because they don't want to give it that decision of choosing where they want to disengage, and I think that's the only letdown really for Pikachu. It is good, it's pretty strong in the meta right now, so I don't think it'll get that change until at least it's a lot weaker. But Champs Glazier's going to take the jungle rotation on the Gardevoir here, meaning they're going to come into the lane as a pretty strong Curlier with some good damage. There's going to be no invade from the side of Oblivion Gaming just yet.
No, not one from the side of Team Int just yet either. I'm quite surprised to not see the Slowbro diving into a jungle there, but it kind of makes sense. It's difficult to invade a Mimikyu and doesn't really stop it because it doesn't need to involve. But Buzzwog is causing some havoc against this Magikarp, wanting to dive into that bush, just take some power off it. Super power bush coming out from this Buzzwog soon.
Oh god. I think you get that level 5 early enough, mate. They will start to snowball this lane. It'll be a superpower lane, never mind a superpower bush. It's going to be a tough one for Enderblade, though. They need to get that Evo onto Gyarados. I mean, that we say it every time we see Gyarados in a game, chat. They need to get that Evo pretty early. Level 5 is nearly going to hit on Muddled. In fact, they're going to get it off this farm here. So they're going to feel very strong coming into these first birds spawning.
Is it going to be that time? Is it going to be the big suck, or is it going to be the superpower? Let's see. As Magikarp is trying to be a little bit sly, trying to get some damage. Look at that slam from the Buzzwole.
It's going to be so tough for them to deal with. The Curlier is here to drop down the side shot damage, and it can do just that. But Bidepig is there to dive on. They've got the play rough. Goodbye, Curlier. We still have an Eevee. We don't have an Umbreon yet. And that just means that they're going to be able to dominate this lane because of just that. Champ's Lucky is pretty weak. Emberblade will be the thing that is used to KO it if it gets too close to that Buzzwole. They're getting close on the meter, but they're not going to get an Evo anytime yet.
Yeah, and that was beautifully played by the pig, obviously going down a little quite low on the HP, but the only threat to its HP bar there was that Gardevoir, and it gets chased it straight down into the lane, knocks it out, and can just walk away from Magikarp and an Eevee, but it's still to involve. And look at this, Mimikyu ready to invade, ready to steal this red buff, but Guardy trying to contest it. Does it go over to the side? Well, I can't even tell because both mons have the buff.
Exactly, it's like, who even got that? Nobody knows. I didn't even see any of the bar going up on either of them, so I don't even know who got the XP from it, mate. It wasn't quite obvious to us. But a nice eject bun coming out of Niet to try and avoid that Electro Ball. Well, you can't avoid the Electro Ball, but at least you avoid the backup. But the mean look and the Gyarados locks them down. They're not going to get on out of there. Bidepig is going to have to try and get out of there. They use the Shadow Sneak to throw themselves down here. Mean look is going to be really important, and I absolutely love the fact that Lucky has decided to pick that, having a Mimikyu in this game.
Yeah, and there's some huge knockouts coming away of Team Int as well. Just how bulky Team Int's team is. They got quite low down, but they were just able to turn it around with the knockouts from these tanks.
It's really good so far. We've got, of course, Delphox level 8, and we've got level 8 on the Buzzwole and the Mimikyu. We're not too far off some Unite moves in this game already, chat. 7 on Enderblade up here against Muddled on the Buzzwole. That's going to be an interesting all-rounder fight-off that's going to be happening, but all the action currently is set up in this bottom lane. A Regirock has spawned. It's going to get leashed. It's going to get reset, whilst we see a Piloswine nearly getting caught out. They do manage to get themselves out of there, but they've got to watch out for that damage that can come in from this Gardevoir now.
This is where we need that split screen for the two lanes. I know this objective's up at bottom, it's more important, but I just want to see these two Behemoths go at it in that top lane. But look at Team Ink just zoning out of the Snorks, going for block, which we don't see too often anymore. Huge Unite move from Gardevoir, taking down the tank, and now Team Ink can just move in and look for this objective.
I mean, Bidepig locked down to the come play with me on Champ's Lucky on Umbreon. Probably not the mon that you wanted to use that Unite move on, because they didn't do enough damage to even get them to half health, unfortunately. And they're still up, and unfortunately they do go down. This Regirock is still here, Chaos. It's not been picked up yet, and we saw the Gardevoir lock it in. I can't believe all the action that's happening in this bottom lane. We've got Unite moves across the board, and that's going to be enough for Team Int to clear out anyone that was on Oblivion Gaming there.
Yeah, let's still back by my previous statement. I'd rather see the Gyarados and Buzzwole just dancing around each other top in all the action we saw in that bot lane. Crazy action, Team Int coming away with the objective. But yeah, nothing has really happened between these two in the top lane. I want to see some fireworks between these two.
Yeah, it's like a Mexican standoff right now. Neither of them have gone for the engage, and they're waiting for the backup from their team, chat. And right now, it is Oblivion Gaming that has got more mons here. Pikachu is on the way with Champ's Glacier on the Gardevoir. That's their damage. We're going to have a tank battle off in the bottom lane. We see the Delphox rotating up, but there we go. A mean look on Muddled means that they're going to have to use their Unite move, but the Dragon Current protected Enderblade from any damage coming their way. Mean look again on Niet. The Fanciful Fireworks is going to be enough to cause some damage and get them protected while they get that damage ripped over onto the side of the Gardevoir and the Umbreon. And I think they're finally managing to clean up something here. They're pushing onto this pad. Champ's Emo is going to try and defend with that Pikachu Unite move. It did a great job, but of course Bidepig said, nah, come play with me. I'm going to play with you roughly, and you're going to go back to the Pokemon Center.
And Pikachu is so strong now. You saw how much damage it did to 3 mons, but even this buff Pikachu can't stand up to all 3, defend the pad and get all the knockouts. Impossible. But no, literally a game of rock, paper, scissors between this Gyarados and Buzzwole, right? We see the Buzzwole popping an ult, so Gyarados pops it so to go underground and avoid it. I think these two mons should just have a little fight in the middle of the map, and the other mons just stand around and watch.
Yeah,
form a circle around them.
I think you're right. Nobody talks about Fight Club, right, chat? But I feel like we need to see just that in this game between the Gyarados and the Buzzwole, because that top lane's kind of been used for that, but we haven't seen any of them actually have that battle off that we want to see. Regice has spawned in this bottom lane. Mamoswine is here to do some zoning if they need it. They don't have any rip at all, and Umbreon has spotted them, so Champs Lucky is going to lock down Toto. They're going to drop a nice bit of damage on it using the Gardevoir, but of course it is a Mamoswine. It does have pretty thick fat, and that's going to be able to take all that damage.
Yeah, and I love that play from the Buzzwole on the top, because lingering around until he had vision of the entire team and then just goes for a safe 40 dunk. Because for the side of Oblivion, they're ahead on the levels. They don't really need this Regice, but they do have some moves that can try and snipe it from range. But look at these Unite moves coming down from the side of Team In.
Yeah, everybody decided that that was the time to use your Unite move before Rayquaza, and they did just that. Emberblade locking in the 2 KO, Pikachu backing it up with the Mimikyu going down. But I tell you what, a push onto that pad is an interesting choice coming from Team Ins when it's 3 minutes and everyone's going to be spawning. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, it was a clever decision immediately to back out. You do see some teams, or even your solo queue teammates, just blindly deciding, no, we've decided to push this, we're going for it, but they did have the mindset to pull out. But look at that from Gyarados, just shredding down that Delphox, and in return just gets shredded down itself by the Mimikyu.
It's almost as if Delphox just sacrificed themselves for Bidepig to be able to lock in that KO. I feel like the risk of that Gyarados is how quick it can drop damage like that, right? But it is so quick at taking down squishes, especially with the bounce stun that comes in as well. And speaking of that quick, I think this Lecky is going to be ripped over by the side of Oblivion Gaming. That's going to be gone before this Rayquaza spawns, putting some pressure onto Team In before we kick off.
This gives Oblivion so many options. If Team In overcommit to defend this, then Oblivion can just take a fight or even look to rip for Ray. If it goes the other way around, they can just score and defend.
Here we go then, Rayquaza has spawned. We've got an engage straight away on Toto on the Mamoswine. We've got Mimikyu looking to score that Hundo Burger over on that side. It's not going to give them too much of a lead though. We have a rip coming in, and of course Buzzwole is there. The Gyarados is there. Who's going to get the secure onto it? Out of all the Mons there, it's a Bliss Assistance locking in that secure, and that's going to be Oblivion Gaming getting another section of points raining in. Blissy sprinting away, Usain Bolt to that home pad to try and score. And I don't know who's going to be able to defend currently. They need to get some Mons back, or at least get some spawns in, because these goals are going to get broken.
Oh, you just love to see the support getting me secure out of all the Mons that are on the field. But the funniest thing was just watching the Blissey hair off after getting the ult. Not even admiring his work, just hairing off straight to that pad to dunk his 80 points in. Oblivion, it's only a slender lead, and we saw what happened the last time.
Yeah, it's almost as like I've never seen a pink blob run so fast, mate. It was sprinting. The Karu was like, I need to score. I've got the lock in. I need to score. And they have given them a lead, but they have got a good push that could come in from a Team In. They're really going to need to defend this pad. They're putting a lot of pressure onto this first T2 here up in the top lane, but home pad is still going to need some defense. It looks like Mimikyu is going to go for a 50 dunk themselves. That might be a bit too early because Snorlax is there, but of course they still have the shield, giving themselves another Hundo Burger to get that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see, it looks like Oblivion are looking to commit to defending this pad again, but not overcommit like we saw the last time when we saw everyone diving onto it. And there you go, the Delphox Unite just makes it impossible to score in that pad. And Buzzwole coming in with a huge super bow air to finish off this game.
That's gonna be it. Oblivion Gaming, what a fantastic night of Pokemon Unite you've had. I think we've got to give a huge congratulations to that team. They get the 3-0 win against Mem Ragnarok, a fantastic team themselves, but they also get the 2-1 win against Team In, another fantastic team. Well done, Oblivion Gaming.
Yeah, beautifully played. 2 sets from Oblivion Gaming as well, and we saw just completely different games as well. We saw them dominate pretty much all 3 of the previous games against Mem Ragnarok, and then this one a bit more challenging, if you don't mind me saying, against Team In, but we managed to come out on top of this one as well. Really well played.